Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. All right, well, man, another beautiful, another beautiful day, right? Man, I can't say enough about how much I've enjoyed the weather, and a lot of people have, right? You know, funny how nature's providing some extra opportunities for us to actually connect with each other and not play into the agenda of those that would like to keep us separate, right? So yeah, that's beautiful. All right, this video, real quick, we're going to call this the manifestation lag, right? So what that's really about is this whole time thing, right? Our perception of this mechanism we call time. And also about that undeniable human trait of impatience. When we want something, we want it right then and there when we want it, right? Especially if we expect it. You know, and a big part of manifesting anything is having that that cemented belief, right? That cognization of a concept or whatever it is that you wish to manifest. You have cognized that it will be something that comes to pass, right? So naturally, with that degree of belief, there comes a certain level of expectation, right? So with that, unfortunately, comes our human impatience, right? And it's just that, you know, we're just wired that way for a number of things, most of them having to do with all the things we experience from birth into this paradigm, right? Or the old paradigm, the way it was, because all that's gone. And with it goes our perception of time, because now, knowing more and understanding and being able to cognize a great deal more of our own you know, I'm trying to be humble, but magnificence is the word that comes to mind. Our own magnificence. You know, I tried to stay as humble as I could with it, but hey, say it, well, ain't nothing wrong being magnificent, and you know, we certainly are. Again, a reminder, folks, we are indeed immortal, energetic, or spiritual beings having a physical human experience, right? A 3D, 4D human experience. All right, my man J.O. Peace, love, respect to him. So yeah, we are indeed having that experience, and with it, as I stated, is that time construct, right? And our tendency for impatience. But with this new paradigm comes new possibilities, right? New understandings, a falling away of previous limitations, right? And a much broader scope through which we can perceive, right? And certainly our perception of time is no exception of that. So with that, we find that we're able to look at it, you know, for what it is, and then expand, right? So what is time? Well, you know, we talked before about how we identify our time periods, right, as the cycles that we most often observe. Just a couple of quick examples of that. Our year, based on the amount of time it takes for our planet to cycle its complete orbit around our star we call our sun, right? Our day based on the amount of time it takes for our planet to rotate completely one time on its axis. 360 degrees, right? Etc., etc. But I also did a video talking about how we can observe larger cycles or greater cycles. And the one in particular that I made mention of was the cycle of our solar system completing its orbit around the center of our galaxy, or what is scientifically often referred to as the central sun, right? All right, so if we expand our perception of time, for example, to that cycle, we can see how it is far greater, right? That amount of time, which, I've heard estimations of around 26,000 years or whatever. It's in the tens of thousands of years, right? So certainly it makes our interpretation of a year and the cycle that it represents, minuscule, right? So the reason I'm saying that is the one thing that determines all of that is perception, right? It's how we're perceiving it. So time is literally how we perceive it. And the same applies to the time it takes for us to actually see things manifest once we plant the seeds. Perhaps it's better for us to think of manifesting in those terms, right? You plant the seeds, right? Only the difference between this and agriculture is that instead of you actually planting physical seeds, you are planting seeds of intention, right? And if properly done with enough energetic intent and focus, those seeds of intention will manifest. Well, that manifestation may not fall into our typical human standards of expected results, right? And I'm simply saying that lag that we see from the time that we make those intentions clear and when we sow those seeds, the time between that and when we actually see the manifestation of those seeds that we've planted, well, that time, again, that lag is something that we can develop a lot more patience through if we simply change our perspective, right? We're talking about manifesting something into existence in our 3D, 4D plane. So let's appreciate that, first of all. That's not, a task that should be viewed lightly, even though with enough, I believe with enough patience, practice, and focus, it can be something that is a very regular and not necessarily difficult thing for us, right? But still, it's something that we should respect enough to give it some patience, right? To apply some patience above and beyond what we typically do when we expect results, right? Because you're going to have a lag. It's simply a not more difficult process, but a process that often requires a lot of things to transpire. Remember, think about it too like this. Every timeline has its own way that it plays out, right? So you're talking about an innumerable amount of factors and variables that come into everything working out just the way that timeline plays out, right? So for you to manifest something in that timeline, you are in fact interjecting your will into the flow of that timeline, right? So there are a lot of adjustments that need to be made for that. So think of that and look at it as a process that is worthy of a little time, right? And just consider that the manifestation lag and have patience, right? It's not that we cannot manifest or will not manifest. Continue to sow your seeds of intention with focus and great concentration, right? Great earnest. And know that yes, they'll come to fruition when the time is right. Go with the flow, right? Much of the universe is about those Hermetic principles, and one of them is rhythm. Do it in rhythm, right? It'll work out as it's supposed to, right? You can cut in, on the dance, but you gotta do it when the beat allows for that, right? You can't come in off beat and try to cut in on the dance. You gotta go in with a little rhythm. And the same thing for how we interject our will into the flow of a timeline when we manifest, right? Just account for that process and the lag that you'll see often. Now, there's sometimes when that lag does not necessarily happen, and it's very rewarding and exciting for us because we realize very quickly, hey, I just manifested that, right? And like I said, that's very exciting for us, but don't let that be the norm of your expectation and become frustrated if it doesn't happen like that. It's just the manifestation lag and it's just the process, all right? So have great patience along with your great focus, intent, and let your seeds be sown with the confidence that they will come to fruition if you have the proper focus, intent, in the energetic direction, right? It's all about us directing our energy. Folks, you are, once again, a multi-dimensional being that is truly an energetic spiritual being having a physical experience. But even your physical body is capable of incredible things far beyond what we have been limited to and by the constraints of Newtonian physics, which with the ever-increasing understanding, awareness, and breakthroughs in the field of quantum mechanics, those Newtonian chains are falling by the wayside ever so rapidly, right? So, yeah, just maintain your patience. Know and understand, all right, this is the manifestation lag. Adjust your perception of time to allow for that, and you know, patiently watch as they do indeed. When it is right, when it is in the proper rhythm, when you're doing it in the flow, right? Then you'll see those manifestations. All right. Man, there's something I was going, oh, right. Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. I'm out.